Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Boston here with Writing with Agents. Today I'm here with Chris. Today we're going to be showing you around Frisco. So if you want to go ahead and, Chris, kind of explain where we're at, kind of what you do, and we'll kind of just get into the drive.
Awesome. Well, I'm Chris Mendez with a Real Estate Group, and I have a team, the Mendez Group, under that brokerage. And we are here in one of the best neighborhoods in Frisco. It's called Heritage Lakes, and this neighborhood, it has all kind of stuff, from obviously a gym, it has pools, it has a golf course, it has ponds, I mean, you name it. It has stuff for the kids, swing sets, basketball court, or at least basketball hoop area in near the community center. So there's some ponds around here, there's turtles out there that we see, and ducks, just the little wildlife animals in here. And this community is gated, so it's very exclusive, very secluded, very private, but if you're able to get in here, you'll have tons of fun, because there's a lot of stuff to do around here in this community. It's not too big, not too small, it's just big enough for everyone to, there's trails also that you can walk, so it's a very, very cool neighborhood. So the golf course is on our left over here, and there's some ponds in there that you can kind of hang out. There's some grills, obviously, for barbecuing, but it's a really, really great area here to live.
And you said that it was gated, and so does that usually drive up the home cost, or is that kind of just like an added benefit when it comes to buying homes in this area?
So yeah, there's a HOA that you have to pay quarterly here. It's not the most cheap one, you would say. It does have a cost, but it's because of all the amenities, obviously, that it has. But the gate it just allows for the community to be private and have security, and it does, obviously, it at the cost, because you have to maintain the gate area, for sure. Yeah,
That's awesome. And what would you say, I'm not sure that you would know this, but what would be like the average home cost in this area, or what are you kind of expecting if you were to come into either this neighborhood or one around here?
Yeah, to live around here, there's different type of homes. All of them are single family homes. There are no townhomes, no condos here.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you're gonna look. The price ranges are gonna be from the upper 400s to over $1 million, to depending on the house, obviously, depending on the lot that you live in. If you have a water view, if you don't, that all takes into account when you're buying a property here. So there's a couple properties for sale in here, but they in this market right now, they tend to stay a little longer, but they will sell for sure.
Nice. And then, so obviously we're in Frisco, so Frisco ISD. Kind of, do you have anything to say whenever it comes to the schooling, or kind of what has your experience been with families?
Yeah, the schools around here are top rated. It's one of the top 3 in the state, and obviously Frisco is one of the top cities to live in the U.S. You can Google it, you can search it.
Sure.
And there's tons of stuff out there. Frisco's pretty safe. As far as the schools, there's about 12 high schools, 7 middle schools, and 43 elementary schools in Frisco. And they do have 3 special program centers in Frisco. And just to give the viewers a little bit of sense of how big is Frisco, or what's the population here. So you're looking at about 200,000 in population here, And the city is above or north of Dallas, so you're looking at 30 minutes, 25 minutes if you if you really go fast on the highways. But let's say 30 minutes from Dallas. From Love Field is another 30 minutes. I do that travel. When I travel, that's what it takes me. And to the DFW airport is about another 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, depending on the traffic at that point. It's so going back to the schools, that's one of the things that attract a lot of people to schools here are the ratio between teachers and students. It's about 15-1, and that just gives a lot of for kids, it's good because you just have one teacher for a small amount of students to be able to get as much as you can in your education in there. Texas is big in football, as you know.
Mm-hmm,
So
sure.
and Frisco, it's right there also with that, and there's a lot of sports programs in the high schools and in schools. If families are looking to look at Frisco to move, then definitely high school, middle schools, elementary schools, they have good programs out there for the kids.
Yeah, I went to high school over here in Frisco. I went to Frisco Heritage.
Cool.
And the schooling itself is so nice. And one thing that I've noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, is how many schools are getting built recently.
Yes.
It literally seems like there's like a high school getting built a year, and like elementaries and middle schools are just popping up everywhere. And I think that's a good sign that people are moving here, and they want to make sure that the teacher to student ratio doesn't get so large that you just your kids get lost in this area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, right now, Frisco is obviously a more developed city than other cities around, but still is small in the sense that it's kind of like a perfect size right now. I mean, obviously it's going to grow more.
For sure.
So people that are looking to move to North Texas, this is a great place to look at and to do your research. And obviously we're available. You can call us and we can help you with that as well.
For sure.
Yeah. So that we just passed Stewart Creeks, which is another great neighborhood. It's not gated, but I lived there, Stewart Creeks, so it's very calm. Neighbors are great. There is trails also, and there's a park for families. It doesn't have a pool. It doesn't have a lot of amenities, so HOAs are going to be lower, and the homes are a little smaller, but they're really, really comfortable for a family that a starter home, or a family that want to move up and into a two-story. And it's like I said, a smaller community. I think has like about 290 houses in there.
Okay.
So neighbors are really tight in there. They look for each other, so it's a really good area. Village Green is another area here in Frisco as well, and it's a great community as well. I haven't lived here, but obviously because I'm close to it, you travel around here, you walk, and there's just great sense of people in here when you walk around here. They the hospitality, right? The southern hospitality here.
Mm-hmm.
They always say hi. They always want to see how you're doing, and it's pet friendly. People that love pets. I have my own two puppies, so we enjoy it when we walk around the neighborhoods around here. So.
Yeah, I think that one thing that I like about Frisco a lot is going through some of these neighborhoods, it doesn't change too much.
Yes.
There's some like cities where you go from one side of the city to the other, it's like a completely different city almost. It looks completely different, whether it's the structures of the buildings, or if there's a ton of buildings there, or if there's not. There are some like neighborhoods I've seen here that have like a little bit more spaced out homes, and then of course you have more of these style homes as well, but it doesn't really change too much, I've seen. you kind of see what you see is what you get in a sense, and it's what you're seeing is very quiet, very safe, very family friendly. It's just what I've noticed while living here. One question I do like to ask is, for someone that's moving here that has not even been to Texas, give me like a couple sentence gist of what it's like to live in Texas, or especially in this area.
So in this area, obviously everything has the pros and cons. In my opinion, it has more pros than cons. But living in this area in North Texas, you're in the suburbs. You're not in obviously downtown or uptown in Dallas, so it's a different environment, different feel, different vibe. It's more, suburbia, what we call it. A lot of families, great schools, and you get, in Frisco specifically, you get a lot of stuff that you can do, or a lot of things available to do here. From obviously shopping, restaurants, sports, hiking, trails. We even have a city next to us that has a little beach on the lake, which is Little Elm.
Yeah.
Little Elm has a little beach out there, and it's a great area, just to hang out and with the family. So you kind of get a lot of stuff. I would say one of the things that maybe people that come from the north that they kind of miss is depending on where they live, obviously, the mountains. That's one of the complaints that I always get from people from the north, or people that live in near the mountains. They're like, man, there's no mountains here, like everything is flat, like you get, like, yeah, it's Texas, what can we say, right? There's nothing you can do about that. And then transportation, like public transportation. And Frisco specifically, there's not, we don't have pretty
For
much
sure, yeah.
nothing about public transportation. You got Uber, obviously, and I don't think not even taxis. I've seen like maybe a few, but not very many taxis around here. So people that don't have cars, they have to carpool or just get an Uber, to kind of go somewhere. But most people obviously have cars here.
Yep.
They drive. So most, I would say like 80%, 90% of the population will have their own car, or at least family car. And I read a stat that said 83% of drivers in this area are just like one driver, in the car.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's a lot of people on the highway, right, or on the streets. So commuting, you really have to time it right, so you're not late. If you work downtown, you gotta go early. Obviously, if you're working in Frisco, it's not a big deal. There's a lot of side roads and back roads that you can take. But overall, if you like to live in a suburban area where you can have access to everything, then Frisco is very much the place to come to.
That's awesome, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and head to Prosper now to do some things like that. But is there anything else, kind of the last second things you want to go ahead and tell the viewers before we go ahead and move on?
So I would say, if you are coming this way, and depending obviously on what you do, what you do for a living, there's the top employers here in Frisco are the Frisco Independent School District, the City of Frisco, obviously, and then Conifer Health Solutions. T-Mobile also has their headquarters here, and then Baylor Medical Center of Frisco also is one of the top 5 employers here in this area. And obviously you can Google it, there's more, but just to give you kind of like a sense of what is going on here in Frisco as far as employers, that's one of the things that people look at, obviously,
for sure,
for employment. And then for families, for kids, there's tons of stuff that kids can do here in Frisco. One of the main attractions for. I don't know if you've ever been there, but Kidzania, it's huge. Is inside the bigger or the biggest mall here in Frisco, which is Stonebriar Mall. And Kidzania is like a little mini city for kids, right? They can go. It's like a pretend city, you know, type of thing where they can be doctors, they can be lawyers, they can be, you know, just any profession, firefighters. You know, obviously there's adult supervision, but it's a really fun for the kids to, you know, to go out there. There is different museums also in the area the families can go to. There's the Frisco Heritage Museum. There is Traintopia, like the museum for the American Railroad.
Oh, good.
One of the cool ones that I've been to is the National Video Game Museum. I don't know if you've been there, but there's, I mean, the kids love it. Kids love it out there. You know, it's a great. And then obviously we can't leave without talking about Universal Studios, right?
Right, for sure.
So Universal Studios coming to Frisco. I think the date that I have, the latest that I read, was 2026. That's what the agreement was with the city of Frisco, so they can get their tax exemptions and all that stuff. So we're in 2023, so about 3 years or so, we'll be having the grand opening at that point. And so one of the things that I do want to say to people that are looking into Frisco and are researching, so there's more stuff coming to Frisco, but just to name one of them, like we said, Universal Studios, that's gonna increase property values, you know, in the area. So this is the time to come and make a move, so you can, you know, capitalize on that equity, you know, that you can gain if you buy a property here in the Frisco area. Right beside Universal Studios, you're gonna have the Fields, which is a huge development that they're working on. They're gonna have residential area, they're gonna have a mixed development, commercial, shopping, hotels, I mean, you name it. It's gonna be huge. So all of that is just gonna the properties are just gonna skyrocket, you know, in here. So now is the time. You have about 3 years or so. So I would say get on the phone, you know, call us, let us know how we can help you. The best thing to do is just to do a consultation and see what we're working with, and see how we can help you get here.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. That's kind of the gist is that you're getting is people are moving here so much, and I mean that's just going to raise property value, and like you said, right now is the right time to get in. So yeah, so if you guys want to go ahead and chat with Chris, make sure to, if you're looking at this throughout the Writing with Agents website, make sure to hit that connect with the Realtor button. Your information will get sent right to him, and he'll definitely take care of you.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.